First, you must ask yourself, are you wealthy?
Stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Startup, the channel for business and entrepreneurship. And in today's video, I'm gonna answer the popular question, how to start your business. We'll cover everything from your niche to marketing your business. So let's get started. I get this question a lot, and my answer from the lessons that I've learned in business is you shouldn't start a business if you don't have a skill set. I was that kid at school that wanted to do a 9-to-5 and always dreamed of doing something that I had full control of that would let me have freedom and make a real living. I always worked hard at school, getting the best grade, thinking I had to go to uni in order to succeed. Matter of fact, I ended up studying to be a surgeon, which I didn't actually enjoy, but thought that was a way forward because I had nobody teaching me how to create financial freedom through business and investing. But after that, I no longer wanted to be a doctor. I've got so much respect for what they do, but I knew my interests weren't there, so I spent years searching for my calling, which ended up being business. Before then, I'd always wonder, how do people afford to buy supercars and large fancy houses and still have plenty left over to look after their family and friends and have fun experiences and donate to charitable causes? And that's not even mentioning healthcare, schooling, etc. The maximum jobs ever really paid was far less than what's required to pay for all of this. I realized slowly, after spending ages researching how to get rich, that starting a business was my only real chance to achieve my goals of becoming financially free. Since most jobs have their earnings that are capped, I knew the only way to make millions was find a means to creating my own wealth, one where I was solely in control of how much I could make, and that was through business. Believe me, I tried investing in crypto, stocks, trading, but I kept finding that a lot of these methods of creating wealth are actually completely out of our control.
Can you imagine the wealth?
And prone to market trends and fluctuations, and also waiting really long periods of time that I just didn't have.
Don't get it twisted.
Business is no walk in the park, but at least it's possible to grow quickly with the right information and coaching. Since crypto and trading was out of the question, this left me with starting a business as the only real viable option to make consistent and predictable revenue that only I was in control of, depending on the business model and various other factors, of course. But going back to the main question, business should you start? I'd say figure out what skill set you have that would give you an added advantage in starting your business. Are you particularly good at marketing or sales or coding? I'm a firm believer that the more skill sets you have, the more competent you become. I also believe that with enough volume and repetition, you can be lucky because it would be impossible to keep failing and never learn from your mistakes. You will get good with consistent effort, simply just by making less mistakes over time. I noticed that just by shifting my business model into a better model with more growth potential, that was enough to increase my profit in a much smaller time. For instance, my first business maxed out quickly because I was in the wrong business model. But the next business improved drastically simply because I chose a different model which had a much higher earning potential. The new business model better suited my skill set and made much higher profits in a fraction of the time. So as you can see, choosing the right model depends on you knowing what you're good at and how much leverage you can get using those skill sets. So my question to those of you who are just starting a business in a field that you think you should start just because somebody told you to, I'd ask you to pause and think, what are you good at? If you can't come up with an answer to that question, then try out different things until one captures your interest enough for you to stay at it long enough. Because at this stage, repetition under the bar is what will allow you to find what you'll be good at. So in short, the business to start is the one that you already have experience or knowledge in, and therefore would have a competitive advantage compared to the average person entering that business model. Now, once you've figured that out, here are the next steps that I would take. First, find your passion. Maybe you're great at coding or you love to design clothes. Whatever it is, make sure it's something that excites you and that you can see yourself doing for the long term. Starting a business can be stressful, so I'd try finding something that you at least enjoy doing. And by turning your passion into a business, you'll be more motivated to put in the hard work and long hours required to succeed. Next, once you've got an idea of what you want to do, it's time to do some research. launch. Find out if there's a demand for your product or service and who your target audience is. I speak about this more in this video. Look into your competitors and see what they're doing. This will give you a better understanding of the market and help you differentiate yourself. It's also important to research any legal requirements of starting your business in your industry. This includes registering your business, obtaining any necessary license or permits, and complying with tax laws in your country or state. You want to be ahead of the curve when starting a business, so be aware of all the laws regarding your industry that might limit or affect your growth plans. By being aware of any laws, you could save yourself from losing or even having to close down your business. Next is creating a business plan. Now, I speak a lot about this in this video over here, but in brief, a business plan is a really useful roadmap for any new business. It helps outline your goals, target your audience, and also shows what strategy you'll use to do your marketing. But it also allows you to list your financial projections for the future. And a solid business plan will help you stay focused, and it can also be useful when seeking funding from investors or banks. If you want to learn more about this, click here. Next, you need to choose a business structure, and there's several business structures to choose from. This includes sole proprietorship, partnerships, LLCs, and corporations. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages, so it's important to choose the one that best fits your needs. Ask your accountant for more help on this, as it really depends on which country or state you reside in. And for different business industries, choosing the right business structure can also have an impact on your personal liability and tax. It's important you consider both of these factors when making your decision. Now, you may think your business might not need marketing, but that is no longer the case, because every industry can be marketed online. You need to get the word out about your product or service and attract a constant flow of customers. You could promote with social media or email marketing or even paid ads, or even good old networking. By building personal relationships with other professionals in your industry, it can lead to new opportunities and partnerships that online may not. So don't forget about this age-old trick. So these are just a few tips to get you starting a business this year. And in future videos, I'll talk about how to grow and scale your business. And if you want to hear more, like and subscribe for more useful tips on your journey to starting and growing your business. If you've got any other questions that you want answered, put them in the comments below.